Everyone, all CMA Foundation students, let's get back to lecture 5. Lecture 5, I told you, since your exam is very close by, this is not like a regular lecture. This is like a revision lecture, and even then I'm trying my level best to cover most of the points, because you know what, your questions are going to be less but your syllabus is very vast. So make sure that you have a last minute revision like this, even one day before. Also, these lectures you can hear through the YouTube channel or whatever method that we are supplying these lectures. Okay, that is one thing. So the next important lecture 5, I wanted to discuss something called management process. As I told you, management definition, once again I wanted to tell you management decision about given by various people. Alright, everybody clear? So make sure, so it's like I told you, these lectures we are giving you to ensure that last minute revision, last minute preparation is going to help you to hit the answer very easily. Because these kind of subjects are very bulky, very vast, and lot of theory, and too much of dryness is unlimited here. It is not simply dry, it is too much of dryness. This is very difficult, and I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong. It's not like a physics or chemistry or mathematics where we struggle to understand. It's not like those subjects. It is something which we feel sleepy. Thus, we have to put your heart and soul and understand exactly what is the main concept, and know you have to kick only the main concept. You should know the crux of each one. That is very important. That is my objective, in fact. So regular class, obviously, each and everything, so we'll have a lot of time and we go on discussing so many things. That's a different story. But here you have less time, I have less time, all of us have less time, and you have to hit the jackpot directly, right? Okay, now according to Dalton and McFarrell, management is a process by which managers will create, will direct, will maintain, will operate a purposive organization. That means every organization has an objective, every organization has a purpose. So the managers are supposed to create, are supposed to direct, are supposed to maintain, are supposed to operate, okay, in a systematic, coordinated way. So basically, when we want to do things in the organization, it is a process whereby they create objectives, they direct objectives, they maintain objectives, etc., etc. The next, George Terry says, it is a distinct process performed to determine on and accomplish, means to achieve, state objectives. So clearly says it is something where every organization has a process. Process means what? A bunch of activities. Process means a bunch of activities. We got to do a lot of activities. We got to do a lot of activities. All these activities are actually done with the help of resources, and these activities would help organization to achieve determined objectives. So basically, first definition says that managers are supposed to create something and ensure that organization would be in a position to achieve objectives. And George Terry also says it's a distinct process, which is basically we determine the objectives, we also achieve the object, we decide the objective. So it is not simply doing things. It is like you have to decide what you want to do, and you also have to decide how we want to achieve this. Next, Henry Fayol, as we already had studied in the first lecture, it says the management is basically to forecast, means to estimate what we need, to plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, to control. So if you're a manager in the company, you need to forecast what kind of problems we expect, what kind of things we got to do. And once we know what kind of things we are supposed to do to achieve objectives, we are supposed to plan those things. We are supposed to organize those things. We are supposed to command, direct, give direction, and we also have to check whether those things are properly implemented or not, etc., etc. Clear? That's what. Next one, in general. So finally, in general, taking all these things into consideration, taking stock of all the definitions, that we already had discussed. Finally, what a layman, a common man, will understand what exactly is the management. If you want to understand in general what exactly is the management, it is basically utilization of resources to achieve objectives. See, very simple, very beautiful definition. So management in general is all about using resources. Why are we using resources? Why are we utilizing resources? Why are we putting men into action? Why are we putting money into action? Why are we putting material into action? Why are we actually doing all these things? We are doing all these things because we wanted to achieve some objectives. So every organization lives for objectives. So you can't, suppose if I'm running a company, I have an objective that I wanted to make all my students as a CMAs. So I have an objective area. So this year I wanted to create at least, let's say, 40 CMAs, and next year let's say 60 CMAs. So from my institute, from my education company, I wanted to make as many CMA professionals as possible. That is my objective. So to reach this objective, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to have a plan. I'm supposed to have what you call resources to be utilized. So using resources and trying to achieve the objectives that are set by the organization is basically called planning. Sorry, management. Understood? In management, we use resources and we would like to achieve objectives. Very simple, very simple. Did I make it very simple? Yes. Very nice. Some of you are smiling, blushing. Awesome. You are not active, don't listen to these classes. Since anyway this option is there, 24 hours availability. If you are not interested, don't listen to anything, because there is no point in wasting time. Instead, you sleep. You will have better health at least. And sleep also contributes a lot for immunity, it seems, during these times. If you're not interested, if you're not paying attention, if you do not put heart and soul when you're listening, do not ever try to listen to anybody's class. Trust me, because there's no use. Instead, we'll do something else. We'll do some productive things. Alright? Yes, similarly, if I'm not interested in teaching, let me not teach. I'm interested in teaching. See, I'm very active. I wanted to actually teach. I wanted to tell you something that I know, and I wanted to motivate you. So I am very energetic. I'm very passionate about teaching. So you also should be passionate about learning. If in case you're not, your body, your heart, your total personality is not in that juncture, I mean in that picture, not to listen, then don't listen. Okay? Peter Drucker says, management is an essential, distinct leading institution. That is, management is very essential for leading the institution, leading the organizations. Overall, I gave you all major definitions. If in case they might ask you an objective type question, all these definitions, make sure that you remember. Okay, quickly, let's move on. So finally, so management is about what? In general, management is all about getting things done using resources. So in general, management is all about achieving the objectives of the organization with the help of existing resources. So these resources, just because you have resources, it does not mean you're going to be successful. Many times, many people always understand, okay, I have money, I have capital, I have infrastructure, I have everything, I will be successful. No, that is impossible. You see, some people always early in the morning they go to office, and again evening, day, night, and 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock, dawn to dusk they work. Do they have a capital? They can simply appoint some people, they can make others to do work, no, but still why are they after them every day? Why are they actually making people? Why are they constantly monitoring? Why are they constantly directing them? Why are they constantly controlling them? Why are they constantly checking, monitoring, making sure that all activities are happening regularly or not? Why are they doing? Because it's not about possessing resources. It is not about having resources. It is not about having skill. You need to use it, and you should also know how, in what best way we can use it. So basically, while I try my level best to achieve my objectives in the management by utilizing resources, in this process I have 5 important functions. First of all, remember number 5: planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and control. Leading is also called directing. Planning, organizing. So first of all, typical terms. So this every term has a bigger syllabus. And I'm telling you, by the time I finish planning, you feel like, this much I have to study. Though I will quit CMA work, you might say. Some subjects were introduced deliberately to test how patient enough you are. Because many a times, it's like, problems keep coming to human beings because God wanted us to undergo some testing process. After testing process only, He's going to give you blessings. Same thing here. Some subjects are meant here in CA, CMA, CS, all these 3 professional qualifications. Certain subjects are very lengthy, very bulky, to test whether you actually have a patience required for, because the first level only, this much of syllabus you're not able to cope up with. Then the next level you will face problems. So next level. So next 2 levels you have got a gigantic syllabus. How do you manage that? If you really want to manage that next level, that is second level and third level, you are supposed to undergo this process. So first level only you should taste some, some lengthy pictures. Understood? Awesome. Now, so functions of management, we have got planning, we have got organizing, we have got staffing, we have got leading or directing, we have got leading in the sense we also have something called leadership, or we have got control. So briefly, one by one, I'm going to discuss now. So first today, I will attack planning in this lecture, then later on organizing, etc., etc. Because planning is the bulkiest one, rest of the things are very little less. So there are miscellaneous concepts also related to this. We're going to study those things. Understood now? Planning, organizing, POS, LC, POS, LC, planning according to your syllabus. I'm using the language because what happens is when the institute people prepare question papers, they will always go by your syllabus, your textbook. There might be standard textbooks outside. There might be standard textbooks outside on this because MBA, I studied MBA, so obviously there is a standard theory, syllabus, etc. We are not going to discuss all that stuff because that is not required for you, because institute people have taught clearly that this is enough for you. Got my point? Excellent. Now, meaning of function. So one by one we'll see. What is planning? You see here, planning precisely determining objectives. What to do, what not to do. Bah, what a simple definition, man. So in planning, we're going to discuss about what to do, how to do, when to do, etc. So in planning, you got to decide what to do. Second one, organization. It is about identifying activities and creation of departments. See here, very simple, very simple. Identifying activities and creation of departments. See, in planning, you decided what to do. In organizing, you basically identify what activities am I supposed to do to achieve the objectives. If I want 60 CMA students to be qualified from my institute this year, what activities am I supposed to do? Conducting classes, very good. Conducting exams, very, very good. Conducting revision, very, very good, etc., etc. There are so many activities now. And now, so exams department do you have, etc., etc. You are supposed to think about all these things. If you don't think, so in organizing, we find out what kind of activities am I supposed to do to reach those objectives, right? Staffing, obviously, name itself indicates. Anybody will laugh at you if you say staffing, I don't know, means human resource required, yeah? Manpower needed. Okay, in that basically we recruit people, we select people, we place them, we give them training, that is induction. Okay, all these activities. So from the time you started giving advertisement for the people to be selected in your company till the time you actually distribute all these things would be this one. Okay, that is very important. Next, so in planning, what do? We decide what is the objective and what to do, how to do. In organizing, what do? We identify what activities are we supposed to conduct. And in staffing, what if we recruit and employ people and we take care of their recruitment, selection, training, blah, 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 blah. Then leadership. Remember, I told you it's not about having resources. It's not about resources. It's not about resources that you have. It is not about resources that you have, but it is that you need to find a good leadership. If you don't have a good leadership, it's going to be very, very difficult. Okay, everybody clear? So every manager should have some leadership skills to guide people. Next, controlling. Remember, just because you have activities and you started implementing them, just because you have activities, you started implementing them, where is the guarantee there is an improvement? So controlling is basically checking, monitoring activities, whether what we were supposed to achieve, had we achieved. If in case we expected so and so thing will take place, and well, activities are, did they go according to the plan? Did we achieve the results? If in case we could not achieve the results according to the plan that we had, what are the corrective actions that we need to bring in? You need to find out. So you are supposed to find out controlling. Controlling is basically we wanted to find out whether the performance of the activities that we started implementing, are they according to our plans. If in case they're not according to our plans, what kind of deviations have taken place, what kind of corrective actions we need to take place. I wanted to make, let's say this year 60 CMA qualified students, but unfortunately I could reach only 40. What is the reason? Were there any deviations? Was there any issue with faculty? Was there any issue with training? Was there any issue with material, etc., etc.? I need to find out the corrective action. So controlling me, we check, we monitor, we find the deviations, and we introduce corrective action so that that will not go away from the main track. Everybody clear? Yes? Awesome. Let's quickly move on to the next one. So planning, what is it? It's an activity by which managers analyze current conditions and decide what exactly they wanted to achieve. Understood? It is an intellectual process. We will decide where are we supposed to go, what is the purpose, etc. According to George Terry, he says it's the foundation of most successful. So basically, in planning, what are we doing? Looking at all these three statements, we wanted to check and verify what exactly is the current situation in the company. What exactly is the current situation in the company, and where do we want to go? You need to estimate what kind of. So you need to design a future image. So in planning, basically, you need to decide where are we currently, what are we going to do, where do we want to go, and how exactly future is going to be, like this. Okay. Next, basically the purpose you will decide, and it's like you anticipate things, you estimate things. Understood? It requires a skill of anticipation. It requires influence. You must influence people to do. If in case you have got some objectives, you must be able to influence people. You must be able to control activities. So basically, it is not about knowing the objective. You should estimate what we want to achieve. We should be able to anticipate what will happen, what is needed in future. You must be able to influence people. You must be able to control activities. You must be able to check, verify, monitor activities, and see whether there are any deviations. You must be able to select objectives. In planning, we must be able to select objectives. We must be able to select policies. We must be able to design programs and activities. We must be able to decide a procedure to do it. So in the line of achieving objectives, if you really want to achieve objective, first of all, you need to set the objective. To achieve this object, what policy do I need to have? What program do I need to have? What procedures and methods do I need to have? What resources do I need to have? What kind of resources? I must be able to estimate what is my objective, what resources I need, what policies I need, what programs I need to have every day, what procedure I need to have. Some coaching centers will conduct study hours daily, 4 hours, 5 hours, 9 hours classes they will conduct including study hours. That is their program. Because they wanted to get ranks, they wanted to give good results, they wanted to give 60-80% results. Therefore they have designed a program. What is the program? They say, boss, 5 hours classes and 2 or 3 hours studies and 1 hour exam. Oh my god, this is our program. So they proudly declare that we wanted to make more qualified students from our academy. So therefore we have a program of study hours, we have a program of exams, we have a program of 7 days classes, 365 days, etc, etc. Everybody clear? So different businesses have got different kinds. So in basically in planning, what am I going to do? Overall analysis I gave you. It talks about what is the current situation, what should be the future. It is an intellectual process, understood? And it talks about anticipation, means estimating. It talks about controlling. It talks about determining objectives. It talks about designing programs. It talks about designing policies. It talks about finding out the resources. You have set an objective. You wanted to achieve something. Suppose you wanted to become CMA. When you have decided to become CMA, you must have already decided, first of all, do I have the resources which are required for me to achieve this objective? You want to resources, you're only thinking about money. Your resource can be your mental skill also, boss. One very important resource for you to become a qualified CMA is basically your unchallenging patience. Do you have this? Do you have these resources of spending a lot of time? Do you have these resources of having patience and understanding the lessons even if they're the driest in the world? Say yes, then you're going to become. God bless you, I'm telling you. No matter, nobody can stop you in this regard. Yes, I'm pretty sure about it. You develop these qualities over a period of time: patience, hard work. So you have an objective to become CMA. So what policies I need to have? For simple policy, daily 10 hours. What program? Daily, early in the morning. Be an early bird. One program, I want to become CMA qualified. So first thing, I have to be an early bird. Get up early in the morning at 5 o'clock. Tell your friend to kick you out of the bed if in case you're not waking up. Something like this you have to do. Yes. All right. When I quickly move on. So anything, if in case you go back and rehear once again. Okay. There's no need for me to revise. Right. Characteristics of planning. Briefly understand. Okay. Planning is primary function of management. It deals with. So we need policies. Planning is goal oriented. Means we should have goals. Planning is intellectual process. Lot of thinking. Planning is pervasive. Means all planning needs in every segment. In every organization, don't think planning is required only in production department, boss. Planning is required in every kachra, everywhere. Next, planning is a continue. It's not one day show, boss. It's not about one day show. It's not about one day show. It's about everyday show. Continuous. Next, it involves choice between. In planning, I will find various alternatives to achieve my objectives, and out of various alternatives, I will choose one. Next one, it is concerned with group objectives. That means planning is not about achieving individual objectives. Planning is about achieving company objectives. Company objectives. You cannot have a plan and be rigid. You cannot say, hey, you designed a plan today to do something. What if tomorrow situations change? What if tomorrow environmental factors change? What if tomorrow technology changes? What if tomorrow customer changes? What if tomorrow issues in the market changes? So you have a plan. Just because you have a plan, it does not mean that all things are going to be same. Is economics, other things remaining constant. If demand price increases, demand decreases, nonsense. Of course, in planning you may have some assumptions, we will study them, but I'm telling you planning has to be flexible. According to the changes you must be able. Now you plan nicely everything. You planned nicely. I planned so I thought these many students would join. But suddenly COVID-19 came. All my plans are shattered. I have to be flexible. I cannot say no, I will not give online classes. Nonsense. I am top in giving classroom classes only. I will not. If you don't give, nobody will join. Finish. You will lose. You will lose. Digital classes are anyway order of the day. So it's better to have two platforms. So being an education company, what I'm thinking now, okay, let me have regular classes plus some people might continue online classes for the next 2 years. Some parents are little worried, they don't want to send their children. You be flexible. So get ready with both. Depending on, since I belong to education business, I'm telling you these examples. Even in banking now. People won't come to bank. Why will they come to bank and get affected by, get infected by COVID, man? They want to stay at home. Anything they want to say. So you need to plan different activities. Alright, dear. So what is it? It contains policies and projects. It contains goals. It's an intellectual thinking process. It involves all the departments. It's a continuous process. It is all about choosing an alternative. It is about the group activities, not about individual objectives. And it should be flexible because things might change. Have you all got it? Yes, very nice. Quickly, you don't have time. Okay. Now next one, in case if you want to hear it back, you just go back and hear it back. Nothing happens. Okay, I'm in your control. Switch is in your control, right? Okay. Utility of what is the use of planning? Quickly, look here. Planning enables management to see. It's like about future productivity. What is needed for future planning will help you. Planning will definitely think about coordination. Who should do what kind of activities they should do. Planning results in healthy climate. All people will support each other. Planning definitely provides unifying. Everybody think the same. Everybody do the same. Planning provides direction so that people will not have any confusion when they come to office what exactly they are supposed to do. They don't have any confusion what exactly they are supposed to do. Planning provides basic control. If you don't have a planning, you keep doing all things randomly, boss. If you did not plan suppose if I did not plan my day today, I end up doing unnecessary things. I waste my time. End of the day, I will look back and say, what did I do? I'm supposed to do this. I forgot. You forgot because you did not plan. You did not do what is very essential because you did not plan. So first one says it enables management to think about future. Second one, it enables management to have coordination. Next one, it will ensure proper supportive climate. Next one, it makes sure everybody think the same. Next one, it will have a direction. If you have a plan, there's a direction. If you don't have a plan, there's no direction. Understood? Next one, it will definitely help you to control it because you planned very clearly. You said this is a program, this is the policy. Then every day you will check what? You will go and check whether the objective is achieved or not, whether this policy is implemented or not, whether this program is implemented or not, whether this activity is carried or not. You will check. No, if you did not plan activities, policies, programs. I repeat, if you did not plan activities, policies, programs, how will you go and check what activity is done, what activity is not done, man? That is too much, right? Hit the jackpot directly. Don't unnecessary points don't read now. Alright, next one. Management, we have got 3 levels. How many levels we have got? 3. Top level management, middle level management, supervisory in the sense lower level management. Got it now? You need to straight understand from the examination point of what exactly these 3 D8s will do. What top level managers will do in terms of planning. In terms of planning, what kind of decisions top level managers will take, what kind of decisions middle level managers will take, what kind of decisions superiors, lower level, supervisory level, supervisor in the sense lower level. See here, I gave you straight 8, 9, 10th. If you remember, 1 mark, pakka, one question, pakka, you will be able to answer. Top level managers will always plan long range plans and the plans which are connected to strategic. Strategic plans in the sense the plans which will ensure companies ahead of others. Companies ahead of other long range plans. So top level managers are involved in long range and strategic. Strategic plans are those plans which will guarantee future for the company. Understood? Very nice. Middle level managers, intermediate range plans like about raw material, okay, about how many people required, how many machines required, how many goods are to be produced for the next month, next 2 months, next 3 months, like this. That means top level manager think about what business we need to start. Mid level manager thinks about how much production we need to increase. So intermediate range tactical plans. Tactical plans are the plans which are little short term, and they will be connected to operations. When I say long range, they think about what business we need to start, which market we need to go, mid-level manager, which quality we should give, how much production we need to give, etc. Super level manager, short range, that operations, whether daily activities are going on or not. Today production of 100 to be produced, is it produced or not? So supervisory level people will only monitor day-to-day activities. Middle level managers, let's say 1 year operations. Top level manager, next 20 years where the company should be. Understood? So I mean top level managers, what product I need to launch, what market I should, which branch I need to open. Middle level managers, this 6 months, what is the story? 6 months, how much should be the sales, how much should be the revenue? Tactful, short term. Understood? Yes, that is one question. But even though planning has so many advantages, there are so many limitations. One very important, you have a plan. Do you think this is going to be successful? Acha, climatic conditions are in your control, market is in your control, all factors are in your control, everything go as you think, nonsense. So it may be inaccurate. And preparing plans will involve lot of time consuming. Sometimes when you plan, you think that this has to be implemented no matter what. That is not advisable. You must be flexible. Next, planning means you will plan so many activities. No matter what, you will continue implementing these activities. You will involve so many people. You will pay high salaries, experts, experienced people will involve. So it's going to be costly. Then attitudes of management. So just because you have a planning, it does not mean you're going to be, unless and until management is supportive, unless and until management is interested, unless and until management is always beside you, you cannot implement. If the planning itself is defective, you will face problems. Understood? So inaccuracy in planning leads to so many problems. It takes a lot of time. Rigidity is one thing. It has to be flexible, and it might cost. Attitude of management is also very important. And sometimes in faulty design may sometimes you may have no rewards properly. Sometimes you may not participate all the people. Sometimes you focus only on you will not have specific activities. You will try to do everything. And if the planner is not competent, you will face problems. So I mean to say, at the time of design, if there is no proper reward, he won't design properly. If you don't allow everybody to participate, they won't give better ideas. And you will have no specific focus. You will try to do so many things. If the planning fellow is incompetent, then you will face problem. So planning fellow has to be, suppose if an organization has asked me to plan. So I will always say, if I plan, what is there for me? What is there for me? He will expect a reward, participation, so many things. And since you planned certain activities, even if there is a technology change, you will continue doing what you have actually planned. So it stops innovation. Because you planned this, so you will say, hey, no, this I planned, you have to implement this, sir. There's a new technology. Shut your mouth, we'll say. So innovation will be discouraged. Then lack of orientation. If in case managers are not given proper orientation, if managers are not given proper training as to how exactly this planning is to be implemented, finish. And I told you, in the market, environmental factors keep changing. These environmental factors change would definitely affect company. Therefore, uncertainties may not be considered. There are a lot of uncertainties in the market. Whenever there are uncertainties, you say, this is a planning, no matter what I will implement. No, how can you do it? So these are all what? Defects. limitations, drawbacks, fallacies. One reading you give, okay? Next, so finally, okay, since there are drawbacks, I wanted to eliminate drawbacks. Then what is the essential element that I need to have? If in case I want to have effective planning, what are the ingredients? There are 2 points here. 12th one, general points. 13th one given by Gary Dessler. Gary Dessler has given certain points to make the planning effective. In general, there are 5 points to make the planning effective. Okay, one reading. Planning does not substitute facts of judgment. It does not substitute science. Hey, plan, just because you have a plan, it's not a science. It cannot be correct. How can you say your plan is going to be correct, man? Since it depends on so many factors in the market. So you need to make plans simple and easy. You need to be very selective. Exactly, you should tell them. You need to also ensure your plan should meet the needs of the organization. And it should be thorough in the sense, make sure planning should include everything. Make sure planning should include everything. I repeat, planning should be simple and easy. It should be selective. It should meet the needs of the organization. It should be thorough means it should be covering all the aspects of the organization. If it is simple, if it is selective, if it meets the needs of the people, needs of the organization, and if it is thorough in the sense it covers all the aspects, then we will say the plan is going to be effective. Simple. So plan just because you have a plan. So plan cannot substitute science in the sense science is a systematic body of knowledge. It will be there. Planning is not like science because planning is dependent on so many other activities. So when you want to make the planning more effective, make sure it is very simple and easy. Make sure it is very selective. Exactly, you should say what I want to achieve. Make sure it should meet the needs of the organization, and also ensure it should be thorough. Thorough in the sense it should be able to cover all the aspects. It should be able to cover all the aspects. Understood? Gary Dessler also has given, if they ask you specific question, according to Gary Dessler, what kind of things we need to do if in case I want to make my plan more effective. Headings you remember here, it says accurate forecast, correct estimation, and gain acceptance. Try to get acceptance from everybody. See, you designed the plan and everybody is not accepting, then they won't implement, no? They will trouble you. Next, it should be sound one in the sense it should recognize the proper pay and concentration, etc. It should be, it requires blueprint, model you should give for all the problems, model you should give. You should verify the truth behind why people are saying it is not possible. You said this is the plan and people are saying it is not possible. Why is it not possible? Okay. Next, measure market value in the sense in planning you don't prepare a plan unless and until you went inside the market and studied what exactly is there in the market. These things you don't try to remember. When I am explaining, only try to understand and wait for the question. When you see the question, if you have understood like this, if your thinking process is like this, you will be able to answer. Those of you who are mugging up, don't you dare mugging up these things, please, because this is not a subject to mug up. This is a subject to understand. Keep your eyes closed, go to examination, open the eyes there. Of course, on the way you have to keep them open and go. So that means you don't try to remember anything. Don't try to memorize anything. Don't try to mug up anything. Just read, understand, close your eyes, go to exam, open your eyes, see the question and face the battle. That's it. Otherwise, how will you remember? Even I can't remember, man. Too much it is. So Gary Dessler says there should be accurate estimation, plan must be accepted by everybody, it should follow an open system of approach, everybody should be involved, and there should be a blueprint of what kind of problems you will face in future you should have. Then you should know the truth behind why people are not pessimistic, why they are not optimistic. You should know the market value, what could be the company share. Suppose right now out of 100 people your share is only 10%, 90% share is shared by others. Next, you should think about, decide in advance. That means under what circumstances you wanted to leave the project. Decide now only. I started implementing plan. At what situation, under what circumstances I am supposed to quit the project and leave it, because you can't stick onto the project even though problems are mounting up. Insurmountable burden is there on your head. Still you want to continue. Nonsense. You must decide. No, if this happens, I'm going to abandon this. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to stop this. Monitoring, how do you want to monitor? You need to decide. Okay, long-term plans you have to keep reviewing annually. Understood? Make sure your plan is fitting to the environment. If your plan is not fitting to the environment, so if you want to make it sound, estimate properly, make sure plan is accepted, make sure it's a sound one, everybody accepted, make sure problems you are aware, find out why people are rejecting, find out the market value, find out under what circumstances we should leave, find out how to monitor, find out, have a plan to review this annually, whether plans are successful or not. Understood? And see if the plan is fitting to the environmental factors right now going on in the organization. Understood? Yes. Finally, last two concepts we have steps. First thing is you should find out the opportunities, very simple, before planning. Next thing, set the objectives. Next thing, determine assumptions. Premises means assumptions. You need to assume certain factors. So find out the opportunities in the market. What do you want to achieve? What are the assumptions? Next, find alternatives. Evaluate each alternative. Which alternative is better? Understood? Then select the best. See, 3 points are related to find the alternatives, evaluate which alternative is better, and select the best alternative. And then implement plan and review the plan whether plan is successful or awesome. Yeah, this is like cute. Find the opportunities in the market. Why? Objectives. What are the assumptions? Find alternatives. Choose best alternative. Implement best alternative and review the best alternative. Yes. So this is the general point. You see, if you could see purposes of the planning, we need to first of all, planning will help you to know the desired future and find out the gap if in case. It will help us in taking major decisions. Integrated thinking, then it will help us in taking decisions in all areas. It will help us to use resources, allocation, utilization properly. It will help us to carry forward functions like staffing, organizing properly. So planning will help you to decide the future. It will help you to fill the gap. Current situation is what? Future situation is what? It will definitely help us in taking major decisions. It will help us in thinking about all activities. It will help us in utilizing effective utilization of resources. It will help us in doing these activities like organizing, staffing, direction, control properly. So planning is a mother of these 4 activities. Understood? So simple. That's what I told you. Understand the concept and leave it. Just touch upon this once. Then you will manage. Because this subject you need to handle differently. Studying, memorizing, remembering. I am telling you, even 10 gods in competition cannot save your life. You would start praying to everybody, visit all the temples, churches, masjids, and no, you will not be saved. Because you need to store it, understand it, and wait for the question. Wait for the question. Okay? Next, planning can be of 2 types. One is top level managers will design everything, ask lower level managers to implement. That is top down. Top down. Top level managers will take all the decisions, will plan all the policies, will plan all the plans, and ask lower level managers to implement it. That's it. So in top down policy, lower level managers are there to implement. Top level managers are there to design. Whatever is given from top level, accept it. Next, opposite is bottom. Bottom up in the, afterwards you read this. Bottom up in the sense, lower level managers will be given certain amount of freedom to design their plans and submit to top level, then top level people will apply. Bottom means lower level managers will be given some freedom to design the plans, and those plans will be submitted to top level managers, then top level managers will approve. That means top level managers will not give anything, only they will give suggestions. That's it at the most. So in top to bottom, what top level managers design everything, lower level managers will ensure that is implemented. Bottom up, lower level managers are given freedom, independence to give their ideas and submit to top level manager will approve. That's it, right? Next, composite approach means both. Top level managers will design and lower level managers will give ideas. So top level managers ideas, lower level manager ideas, both will be mixed. That is composite approach, mixed. Okay, team approach in the sense, it is like team approach in the sense, when you want to plan, when you want to design a policy, when you want to design a strategy, when you want to plan, when you want to design a policy, you will not, neither top level nor lower level, a team will be formed. It will be handed over to an expert team. Suppose whenever some incident happens, Government of India, what does it do? It will appoint a committee. It says, okay, Andhra has some separate state problem, go and look into that. So a separate team will be appointed. That team will have experts, experienced people, and these people will put their ideas and develop a plan. They might be under the control of chief executive officers. So team approach in the sense, to design plans, to design programs, to design policies. A specific team will be appointed. They will collect the information, they will study the environment, they will give ideas, etc. They will give a plan to top level managers, then they will approve. Understood now? So top to bottom means what? Top to top down. Top down in the sense everything is decided at the central level. Bottom in the sense decided at central level, finally approved by top level. Composite in the sense both the ideas will be taken. And team level, certain it is outsourced to a team of experts. Separate team will be given. That team will take all the ideas. Understood? Everybody clear? And last one, plans can be of standing plans. Standing plans means the plans which are recurring plans. Standing plan is used again and again. A plan which is used, a same plan which is used again and again to achieve the objectives. I mean, a standing plan is the plan which is continuous, which is going to be used again and again as long as issues are same. So in the longer period of time, standing plan will have, it will be the same objectives, same policies, same strategy, same procedure, same rules will be followed. So when in any organization again and again for similar situation, same objectives, same policies, same strategies, same procedures, same rules are there, then standing plans will be implemented. They are continuous in nature, they are same for all the similar situations. Objectives will not change, policies will not change, strategies will not change, procedures will not change, rules will not change. Alright, very nice. Then single use in the sense a plan which is used only once, because the activities will not be repetitive in nature. See there, single use plan is done once. It is designed to fit the demands. In the sense sometimes in the market there might be new situations, there might be new circumstances, there might be new environmental factors. To handle such things, one time plan we'll implement and close. So programs which are used only, a program for once, a budget for once, a schedule for once, a project for once. Understood? Everybody? Yeah. So this is a simple learning because you don't have time. So make sure that you read in this way. Next one, planning premises. Planning premises means at the time of planning, organization might assume certain things are not changing. If in case you don't assume these things, you cannot implement the plan. So there are assumptions. As premises means assumptions that we assumed while formulating a plan that they don't change. Internal, external. See, internal means, for examination question, internal means like sales, cash flows, capital budgeting, advertisement, product line, market mix. All these things are the internal on which company has a control. On this, company has a control. So internal premises are those premises on which company can control. Product lines you can control, advertisement you can control, expenditure you can control, etc. Whereas external premises are the assumptions on which company doesn't have any control, such as political, economic, social, these factors. Yes. Next we have controllable. Name itself indicates those things which can be controlled by management. And semi-controls to certain extent. Semi-control, those things which can be controlled, some control. Here internal policies. Here you have labor turnover, all these things. Okay, like uncontrollable is natural calamities. So simple, controllable is what can be controlled. Semi-controllable is to certain extent we can control. Uncontrollable, company cannot control anything. Wars, strikes, innovations, etc. etc. Understood? Examples also I gave clearly. Straight to the point I gave a notes. Okay. Intangible in the sense assumptions that can be expressed. Like labor hours, production quantity. Intangible in the sense which we can't express. Examples, best example, public relations, employee motivation, reputation of the firm, competitor. These things we can't assess. We can't exactly say because they are not under our control. Sales forecast, etc. Production we can estimate. Labor hours we can estimate. Okay, tangible is the premises which can be expressed in tangible numbers, whereas intangible premises are those things which we can't estimate. That is one thing. Okay, so controllable means 100% company can control those assumptions. Example, like your internal policies. Semi-controllable to certain extent we can control, like turnover, etc. Uncontrollable you cannot control at all, natural calamities. Internal means on which you can have a control, but they are related to within the company. These are outside the company. Okay, that is planning. Then here single engine plan which is used only once. Standing in the sense plan which is used repeatedly. Objectives are there. Yes, very lengthy topic. Just go through this and read this material and make sure you understand the concept. Any doubts, please do let me know. Have a good day.